Unit 1. The weighting on the AP exam for Unit 1 is 2.5 to 5%. Primitive types. The big idea 1, modularity. How can we use programs to solve problems? Big idea 2, variables. In what ways are numbers used in the programs and apps you use most often? Big idea 3, control. How are mathematical concepts being used in the programs and apps that you use most often? Developing understanding. The secret word here is Klein-Collins football team. This unit introduces students to the Java programming language and the use of classes, providing students with a firm foundation of concepts that will be leveraged and built upon in all future units. Students will focus on writing the main method and will start to call pre-existing methods to produce output. The use of pre-existing methods for input is not prescribed in the course. However, input is a necessary part of any computer science course, so teachers will need to determine how they will address this in their classroom. Students will start to learn about 3 built-in data types and learn how to create variables, store values, and interact with those variables using basic operations. The ability to write expression is essential to representing the variability of the real world in a program and will be used in all future units. Primitive data is one of the 2 categories of variables covered in this course. The other category, reference data, will be covered in Unit 2. Another secret code phrase is Texan football team. Texan football team. Building computational thinking practices. When writing programs, programmers use mathematical expressions to represent the relationships between quantities and the real world. This requires programmers to apply the meaning of specific Java operators to these formulas and expressions. While practicing writing these expressions, students should begin to understand that programs are composed of a series of statements that use arithmetic operators. During the early stages of learning to program, these students look at existing program code and ask them to explain what it does rather than having them develop program code from scratch. When writing code, errors are inevitable. To learn how to identify correct errors, students need exposure to the error messages generated by the compiler, the ability to communicate to collaborative partners why a code segment will not compile or work as intended will aid students in being able to correct the error and build working programs that accomplish specific tasks. Preparing for the AP exam. This unit provides a lot of the foundational content and skills that students will continue to draw on throughout the course. While much of this is covered in this unit is not explicitly assessed on the AP exam, this content exists in the program code of nearly every assessment question. It is important for students to spend adequate time practicing writing expressions and applying meaning to specific operators during this unit. Early success will build students' confidence, which will be necessary as we build on the knowledge, adding new concepts and require more sophisticated applications of concepts.